Alright, I would like you to try these on your own, and then we'll go do the last problem together. Write a rule for this function. Our x's go by ones, so our pattern 3, 5, 7, 9, we're adding 2, so our pattern is 2. We're taking our x and we're doubling it every time. But if I do that, if I plug in a 1, 1 times 2 is only 2. To get to 5, I would need 3 more, or just look at 0. When x is 0, y is 3. It's really easy to plug in a 3, or I'm sorry, not a 3, a 0, and see if your equation works. 2 times 0 is 0, but we would need 3 more to get to 3. So there's our pattern, and then our domain and range. Domain is our x values, our input, 0, 1, 2, and 3, and our range was 3, 5, 7, and 9. On this next one, this one was a little tricky because notice these ones are going least to greatest. These are not. So if I were you, I would actually flip your table around so that they go in increasing order. I just reversed our table, or just look backwards. Our x values do not go by ones though. So we need to actually find like 11 or 13 or 15, the numbers that go between here. So between 4 and 5 would be 4 and a half. Between 5 and 6 would be 5 and a half. 6 and a half. So going by ones, we're really adding 0.5. 4.5 to 5 is another 0.5. So our pattern on this one is 0.5. And now this one would be a little bit tricky to go all the way back to 0. If we want to, we can. It's really not that hard because going by 2's, our number here, you notice a pattern, 16, 14, 12, 10, they're going by 2's, and these are going by 1's. So if we went backwards to 8, 6, 4, this would be really a 3, 2, 1, and 0. But we need to get when x is at 0, so all the way back here, we'd be at a -1. Now if that was confusing, you have no idea what I did, I just followed the pattern backwards. All you need to do, you guys, is test a number. If I plug in a 4 here, or not a 4, a 10, I should get out a 4. If not, I need to figure out what is adding or subtracting to the end. So if I plug in a 10, 0.5 times 10, or half of 10, would be 5. But we want to get 4, so we really need to just subtract 1. If we plug in a 12, half of 12 would be 6, but we need to get out 5, we need to subtract 1. So our pattern, oopsies, is 0.5x minus 1. And then you can list your domain and your range. Our domain was 10, 12, 14, 16, and our range was 4, 5, 6, and 7. That one was a little bit tricky. Let's take a look at the last question. It says concert tickets. You're buying concert tickets that cost $15 each. You can buy up to 6 tickets. Write the amount in dollars you spend as a function, that's that word or that equation we're looking for, of the number of tickets you buy. Identify the independent and dependent variables. Identify domain and range. So first, it says we are buying concert tickets that cost $15 each. We can buy up to 6 tickets. So I know that the number of tickets we can buy is up to 6. So we could buy 0 tickets, 1 ticket, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 tickets. This is really our x value, what we're putting in, because we don't know how much it's going to cost unless we know how many tickets we want to buy. So what we're really getting out, or our output, is the cost, the money. Our input is our tickets. So if we buy 0 tickets, well, it's not going to cost us anything. It's going to be $0, right? If we buy one ticket, it's going to cost us $15 because each ticket is $15. If I buy 2 tickets, 2 times 15 would give us 30. If I buy 3 tickets, 3 times 15, you can use your calculator, 45. Or what are we really doing from one number to the next? We're really just adding $15. Oops. Adding $15. So if I continue to add $15, we're going to get 60, 75, and 90. So they wanted a rule for this function. Well, I already figured out the pattern. It's plus 15. So 15x. And then do we need to add anything? If I plug in a 1, 15 times 1 is 15. It works. I don't need to add or subtract anything. So in this case, our independent function is what we plugged in, which was the number of tickets. Our dependent variable was the cost. The cost depends on how many tickets we buy. And then domain and range. For right now, I'm not going to list them out. You know your domain is your x values and your range is your y values. Very last question, it says, in this equation, which variable is the independent variable and which is the dependent variable? Well, we don't know what b is, but if I know what a is, could I figure out what b is? So a is going to be our independent variable because it's what you would plug into your equation. B would be our dependent variable because B depends on what you plug in for A. I know today was a lot of challenging things, but I would like you to attempt it on your